Hey, welcome back to the Boundary Between Worlds. Sorry I'm not on camera today, everybody. I have had so much going on. I have been moving sacred spaces and all sorts of stuff, and it has just been quite chaotic. So it is just, I thought I better get in a read in before I do some more downtime. So let's just find out what it is that you need to be made aware of at the moment. Alrighty. I feel like for you there is a need to really pull back to your life path, okay? To pull back in to your vocation, to your needs. I feel like, especially in regards to, okay, I do feel like we are pulling into relationships here. I feel like it's almost like you've been a bit lost, right? I feel like things have really thrown you off course lately, and I feel like there have been a few events that have come out of the blue, and they've been very disruptive, and they've really had you sitting in this position where I feel like there is options now, okay? It feels like there are options for you to really start to look at the pros, the cons, what you do and don't want, and to be able to act accordingly, okay? I do feel like there is that new horizon for many of you, and for some of you, I feel like to begin that new horizon, it does entail walking away from those things that just are no longer serving you, right? That have just ran their course. And I feel like this is necessary here, is if it's not a literal moving on, then I feel like it needs to be created in a way where you don't fall back into the same patterns, where you don't fall back into the same behaviors, right? Because that all just works against you. I do feel like the big thing here, right, is to really hold people accountable as well. I do get the sense at times there is more talk than there is action, and that can bring its own challenges forth for you, okay? I do feel like at the moment, I feel like things are moving into a better place. I feel like there is some stability coming, but I hesitate here because I feel like it doesn't feel like, yes, there is permanence down the track, but in the interim right now, I feel like that stability is almost dependent on a decision you make, right? I feel like if that decision goes one way, that stability stays right there. I feel like otherwise it kind of pulls the rug out from under your feet and has you, like I said, it still comes down the track, right? It's not that you don't get it later on, but I feel like there is that struggle keeping that stability at the moment. And I feel like that pending decision really does pull a lot into play here. The catch for this, though, is to remember that everything is happening for a reason, right? And things are going to be incredibly disruptive. And this is important to remember, that is, it's major. You've got these major changes happening. You've got these many new beginnings starting, okay? And this is the thing here, it isn't one change, it's many. And again, that adds to so much disruption that's coming to you. All right, I do feel like the key here is to really don't fall into the pressure and the whim of everybody else, okay? Don't let everybody else be that guiding force and telling you what to do. A lot of this path moving forward needs you seizing it with both hands. It needs you making those decisions, right? Because this is your journey. And it's only so important because of the fact that, like I said at the start, it feels like there has been this drift away from your course, right? And I feel like a lot of that is linked into the people that are around you, okay? And it is necessary. I feel like moving forward, it's not about giving up. It's not about giving up on people, but it's necessary to kind of push forward and really look at who is around you and look at what they're bringing to the table. I do feel like there is quite a bit of toxic behavior. I feel like at times it can be quite detrimental to the spirit, okay? I feel like it can have you feeling suffocated, have you feeling trapped, have you feeling like suffocated is the big word to use here, okay? And I feel like there is a need not to censor yourself, a need not to go push everything down and silence yourself, but allow it to come up, allow that release to happen, okay? I do get the sense that there are so many things that have been left unsaid, right? There is so much that has been suppressed, and I feel like a lot of this has been done for peacekeeping, but at the same time, there is this, it's almost like that energy itself, it is still being stored within you, right? And so there is this need to find that release and to allow it to be gone so that it's not continuously feeding off you moving forward as well, all right? I do feel like the thing here is, like I said before, there is a need to look out for the people around you, okay? Don't be pressured into things that just do not feel right. Don't be manipulated or forced into giving answers or doing things quickly if it doesn't sit well with you. Really follow your intuition and follow what feels right to you at the time, okay? Because I do feel like there are quite a few people around you that are really applying that pressure. And if you're not careful, it feels like you can fall into those old patterns yourself and then fall into play into their will, to their favor, as opposed to your own, okay? And yeah, that is everything. I will be back on camera tomorrow, I promise, or the next day. Want to be one of the two. And yeah, thank you so much. See you all later.